Hello there, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you how I made this darling cat and candy card using Simon Hurley products. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to show you how I did it right. Meow. We're going to start with this 6x6 stencil, brand new from Simon Hurley, called Flip Flop Circles. And as it suggests, you can flip and flop it. We won't be flipping flopping today, but we will in the future. And then I'll be using this Purrfect Cats with your how old, let's see, let me pull this out so the glare doesn't get you too bad. You're how old? You've got to be kidding me. Meow, you doing? I need you. You are perfect. Stay positive. Meow. Have a nice day. Hope your birthday's perfect. Love you. You're one cool cat. I hope in every one of my you're in every one of my 9 lives. Boy, that's hard to spit out. So what I have here is a slimline card front. It is and a slimline card base. The card front is 8 by 3 1/4. And then I'm going to pull out my Altenew stamp wheel. You don't have to use this, but I'm going to show you how to do a slimline stencil in there in case you wanted to, because it sure is handy. So first of all, I'm going to lay my piece of cardstock in here and just, I don't know, just someplace, whatever. I'm going to butt it up against there. And then I'm going to take a piece of mint tape. Love my mint tape. And I'm just going to put it here as kind of a jig so that when I scoot it down, we're kind of in the same position. And then I'm going to lay my stencil down, shiny side down, so that the stamp wheel doesn't pull up the backer off of the stencil. It won't hurt it, but it looks weird. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and mask off this side here so I don't accidentally get weird lines there. And then I'm just going to start coloring, and I'm going to go in very, very heavy with the colors. I will start with Shooting Star. Let me get everything pushed out of my way here. Trying to get it all in order, but I'm just going to mix it up anyway. See? that's that. So I'm going to grab the Shooting Star, and then I have just a small brush. And I'm going to use my small brush, and I'm going to fill in the top line and part of the bottom line very heavily. So I want a lot of ink down there, because my next step, you'll see I don't need as much ink, but I want that to still show through. So we just go on down the line and make sure we get them all filled in. Sorry, my nose is dripping because I'm looking down. And next we're going to go with Guppy. This is a really nice kind of candy combination in my mind's eye. And I'm doing the same. I'm filling in the top circles, not the top, but the next row of circles, and then into the next row, because I want to blend these colors. If you accidentally get some, no big deal. Up in the next line, doesn't matter. Not a huge deal, but it's ideal if you don't. All right, now we're going to go in with Love Struck. And same thing, and then I'm going to go down into the next row as well. So I go from the row I'm in and into the next row, because what I'm going to be doing is some ink blending on that next row, so that I get the purple color that I want. So I'm going to go in with Clear Skies. I really need to re-ink this. Remind me one of these days to re-ink my stuff. And I'm going to go into that row and the next one down. So it's the same over and over again, only when I go into that row, I'm going kind of heavy so that I can get that purple color that I'm looking for. And just fill it on down the line. Wait till you see these. They're so cute. And then finally, I'm going to go in with some Overzealous. So these are kind of bright. This is a bright rainbow, I guess. I don't know. And then I'm coming up into that blue a little bit with the green as well. Even though, you know, they're in the long run, they're individual candies. That's what I'm doing. I'm sticking to it. Right? Meow. This little set of cats is so stinking cute. All right, now I'm going to pull up my little mask there. I'm going to pull up my stencil. And there I've got my neat little scallop rainbow, right? So already you can see that you can make scallops with these flip-flop circles. But all I'm going to do is just move this down, and I'm going to butt it up against my little piece of mint tape there. And then try not to get everything everywhere. Move that piece of tape, silly. Would help if that tape wasn't there. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down. I'm going to match it up with the other dots that were there. And go ahead and fill that in too. And really, you don't need to mask that other part off, but I did, so that's that. I just like to look at the pretty colors on the mint tape. All right, so we're just going to finish out the same way we did the other side. And this is the way to do a slim line in the Altenew stamp wheel, because it's only like 7 1/4 inches, so it won't hold the whole piece. All right, going in with our guppy. I really like using this stamp wheel for stenciling. It's just awesome. Okay. Get that all filled in. The hardest part for me is not making a mess. But you can't hardly, this is almost fail-proof. Back in with our Love Struck. All right, coming in with the Clear Skies. And I still didn't re-ink it. I really like this new release. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think this is my 3rd video so far. And then I still have to show you how to make those cats with the lunar paste. That's going to be a short because it just takes a few seconds. And then ending off with our Overzealous. That's that. We've got that part done. It's pretty quick. In one of my videos, I'm going to show you something fun to make with these little flip-flop circles. I've got a little mess there, so I end up doing it over because I should have cleaned my stencil in between. So there it is, all done over. It's exactly the same process, but I just didn't want that big of a mess. I can handle a small mess, but a big mess, nah, not really. So I've got here a piece of scratch paper so that I can kind of tap off. And I'm going to grab my shooting star. I'm going to tap off. And then I'm just going to lightly go in and just kind of fill in this row and what's down below it. And I'll go ahead and speed this up because it's pretty redundant. Coming in with the guppy. I'm just kind of going over the whole thing. You could leave it white if you wanted to. But you know me, I like my color. And I just feel like it adds some dimension to it. It almost looks like lace laid over the top of each other. And then we'll get our Overzealous and boom, that's done. So I did that with a very light hand, and what I'm going in now is I'm making with my white gel pen, a number size 10, is I'm making little dots so we can start our shine. And after I get those done, then I'm going to make some little lines with my number 5 pen, and it's kind of hard to see it on the video, but you see it in the still picture. I'm making lines that, well, now it is in the still picture, if I can hold still long enough. Making lines on either side in a curve so that it looks like they're shiny. So next I have these presents from the Everyday Birthday, I think. Ugh, I can't think of the name of it. I will list it down below. I do like to mix and match my Simon Hurley stamps, so This is what I'm doing here, and this set here is good for all time. There, now maybe you can see my little lines. And I'm going to go a third time, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some clear embossing powder over that, paint it, and cut it out. Like I said, I already had the cats cut out, and I did them in black and white, and the reason why is the majority of my own cats are tuxedo cats, so they're black and white, so made life real easy. So I made all the cats black and white, and one of the cats looks exactly like my cat Aries, and I'll point out which one it is. He's a tuxedo cat, but he looks like a Siamese cat. He's got the facial features. He's got the same loud, obnoxious cry. Yep, same. He's a black and white Siamese. His mommy was Siamese, so cats are funny how they can be so different from their parents. All right, we've got that all he said. Now I'm going to paint it, and I'm just going to paint it using the same color inks. So I'm going to start out. Now, I start out with Shooting Star, and I start out on my scrapbook.com mat, but I cannot see the ink at all. So turns out that either my brush wasn't clean or there was still a little green ink on there. So you'll see that even though I think I'm starting out with yellow, I end up with green. So I quickly move to the overzealous and compensate for that. See, I can see, look, that's not yellow. Come on now. All right. Let me try it one more time. No, it's not going to fly as yellow. Let's see. I don't give up that easy. Fine, here we go. Let's just go ahead and paint right over that. And I don't do like Simon does. I don't wet my paper first. This is just accent opaque paper. It's nothing special. It's not meant to take water. So I just move quickly as if I were using a marker. Yes, I can paint that fast. No, I can't. I sped this up because I don't need to keep you for hours on a video, but I do appreciate your time and coming to hang out. Especially, I'm always thankful when Simon asked me to guest design for him, because I love the products, and I feel like, you know, I love Ranger, and I think Simon is a rockin' dude, so there's that. All right, there's those. Now I'm going to do the Love Struck, and I'm just going to paint the present pink. And again, just using all the same colors that I used within my candy. Adding little shadows, sort of-ish. All right, let's grab our guppy. We'll paint our bow. And then let's try again with the Shooting Star. There we go. Now we've got a yellow present. All right, we've got all 5 of the colors on our present, so I'll go ahead and put that die down with my mint tape and run it through my die cutting machine. And I'm using my Vagabond off to the side. All right, now I've got my card base, which I've got the panel popped up, and then it's already glued down to the card base. I like to work that way, rather than glue all this stuff on and then try to get it on the card base, especially since I use foam. So that's my cat Aries right there. Isn't he a goofball looking thing? That's exactly what he looks like. He's black and white, and he's got that funny face and those big old ears. So he's going to be pawing at the presents. This guy's going to be singing happy birthday, and this little lady has a gift. So I'm going to glue the presents straight down. And can you see the markings that I did on those little candies, those little flip-flop dots? Now they remind me of, I don't know, candies. Like dots at the movies or something. Okay, lay those down. One thing I can say is when you're working with these little dot things, it's very easy to get everything else on there straight. All right. Now we're going to pop Aries up, and I'm going to pop him up with some low profile sticky dot, foam tape dots thingies. I'm going to put them here on this white piece of paper just in case there's ink on my black scrapbook.com mat and I can't see it because I don't want to get ink on him. And so these are fairly low profile. I'll be using low profile and high profile on here. So we have quite the dimensional little card. Okay. Now what I do to get into those skinny spaces is I just take my scissors and cut the sheet right there, so that I can get smaller pieces to support his tail and his feet and stuff. Because I don't want them just flapping out in the wind. Now you can get the new release products at Ranger or at scrapbook.com. And I'll link everything down below, including my inks and all the supplies that I use. And I couldn't live without these tweezers, by the way. They are not reverse tweezers. I don't get along with reverse tweezers at all. They just don't want to function in my hands. I have to control. So yeah, I'm just going to add a couple more little half pieces. Support his ears and his little whiskers. Now you could, because you have the dies, you could just cut out a piece of fun foam at the same time that you cut the cat out and just glue that to the back of it. If you wanted to. I've done it before. I've done it with word dies. Just because I didn't feel like cutting several layers. Or you could cut several layers, of scrap paper and then glue those on. And that would ensure that your project wouldn't get smushed in the mail. But this slimline will fit just in a regular legal envelope. I don't often make slimlines, but some things just call for them. I definitely want more than one cat here. And you could put more than one cat on an A2 size card, but really spreading them out like this is a lot more fun. All right, let's make sure I've got all my little stickies off. This is the part I should have sped through. One of these days, I'll get this editing down. All right, gonna place him. Now I want him kind of sitting on one of those candies. All right, so there he is. Now, this girl, she's gonna go flat down. We have one black and white. It's really weird because some of her black spots are tabby striped, but she's still spotted. I don't know. And she's a little bit furry. But most of our cats are short-haired cats. The only long-haired cat we have is a feral cat that lives outside that Mike feeds. And that's a little ginger kitty. And I love that cat. I do. But we already took in one of the ferals from outside because he was getting beat up all the time. And he was banging on our door freezing cold. So these are the higher profile ones. I'm cutting in thirds because they're bigger. So I'll cut some in half and I'll cut some in thirds. And then I'll use some regular big ones. Let's see if I like the height there. Check my placement. That goofy cat. That was our black cat that we took in, I don't know, last year or so. I don't know if you guys remember back then, that cat bit me and I was hurt bad. I couldn't work. I was sick from the bite. It was my fault. If you're not a cat person or don't understand cats, we brought him in the house and he was scared. And, you know, I was petting him while he was scared, and it was a stupid idea. I should have let him be. We were fine, and then he rolled over on his back as if to submit, and I went to pet his stomach, and that was, nope, that's not happening, lady. You're not doing that. So his name is George, and he's still a Tom. He stays separate from the other cats, and he stays indoors. He stays with Mike. So we have a strange family dynamic with our pets. So the 3 dogs and George all live in Mike's area. We have like separate areas in our house where, like, I don't allow the animals up here unless I'm having a catnip party or something. I don't let them up here because I don't, you know, sometimes I give my cards away and stuff, and I don't want to, you know, people are allergic and stuff. And not only that, but they're terrorists. So I like the freedom of not worrying about stepping in a pile of who knows what when I'm up here, you know, going from room to room, doing my thing. All right, let's pop that bad boy up. Look at that. Isn't he adorable? Okay, I'm happy with my placement. Good thing, because he's stuck down. All I need to do now is the sentiment. And let's pick one here. I think I'm going to go, hope your birthday's perfect. And I'm going to find just a scrap of white here somewhere in the pile. And let's go ahead and put the lid on my glue before I run into trouble. Okay, yeah, I'll just cut a piece off of here. I don't need the whole piece, I just need a little piece. I'll grab my mini Misty, get the presents out of the way. Set this in there. And that black thing you see underneath, that's an old photopolymer stamp. It was a background stamp that I actually cut in half. It was like 8 by 8. I got it from HSN, I think. Back when I very first started working with cards and stamping. And I ruined it immediately by, I think I used StazOn on it, or I used some sort of black ink that doesn't come off. And so it was black forever. It still works as a stamp, but it also works great as a sticky mat. So I use that in there, and then I have another piece of it somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and put some of my clear embossing powder over the top. And just heat emboss that. Let's get my embossing tool. It warmed up. And it's nice to heat emboss it because, especially if you're like me, I will smear the ink. That's just the nature of my being. And I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut that out of there. I start thinking I'm looking for a die that might cut it out, but ultimately I end up just fussy cutting it. Because there aren't any coordinating dies for the sentiments in this set, just the animals and their toys. So I'll go ahead and fussy cut that out. And when I get that cut out and popped up, that card is basically done. Now this video ends abruptly because I actually made it an extra long video with some other things that I've done in them. But my iMac just didn't have the space to bring them all in, so I just decided to split them up. So it kind of ends abruptly, but I still love you. Thought I'd just give you a heads up on that in case you're going, wait, is there more? Nope, that's it. I mean, I do finish the cards, so there's that. And then I'll show a still picture at the end of the video. All right, now for this, I'm going to go ahead and use my... I'm going to put it right about there. I'm going to use my scrapbook.com strips. They're probably my favorite of all because, you know, you can... I just pull one strip off and then use what I need and put the rest back. And they're not so sticky that they make my scissors gummy or anything like that. And they're nice and thin to put a thin sentiment. They're an 1/8 inch thick. Height-wise, I'm going to guess they're probably 2 millimeters. I'd have to check the website, but I think they're 2 millimeters. They might be 1.5. I don't know. I don't know. They're about that big. Okay. Get this stuck down. Decide where I want it. And boom, that's it. That card is done. Well, I hope you liked the video anyway, and I really appreciate you coming to watch. If you liked it, do please leave me a thumbs up. And if you go shopping, please use my affiliate links down below. It helps me support me. Yeah, that's me, just me. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.